In today's video, we're going to go over my drop shot setup. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like the intro said, we're going to be going over my drop shot setup in today's video. The drop shot has become one of the techniques I've gained a lot of confidence in within the last year and a half. It's something I always have tied on, and I almost always throw it every time out. If you guys have seen some of my past videos, you've seen I've caught a ton of fish on the drop shot. It's something I'll throw year round. Something, dead of summer like we are now, even into the fall and the colder months and into the spring. I've just gained a lot of confidence with it, and in today's video, I'm gonna go over how I rig it, set it up, how I fish it, and everything you need to know about how I fish the drop shot. To start, we're gonna go over my rod and reel setup. I'm fishing the drop shot on a 7-foot medium light fast action rod. This rod is super sensitive. It's got a really soft tip, so that's letting me feel all the bites. It's letting me feel when my bait's on the bottom, making contact with any cover. A lot of times I'm fishing this along the grass line. So this sensitive rod is letting me feel when I'm in the grass or if I'm on the grass line in the sparse grass where I want to be. The reel I have on here, it's a Akuma, nothing special. It's a 2500 size. I'd recommend anywhere from a 200 size to a 300 size reel. That should be plenty. I have 20-pound braid with a 10-pound leader tied on. Nothing too special. I've got a lot of confidence with the braid to fluorocarbon leader. The high vis braid lets me see any ticks or movement in my line when it's in the water, and I can easily see when my bait is in contact with the bottom with that line. The knot I use to connect the two is called the Albright knot. It's a pretty simple knot to tie, especially if I'm out on the water. It's something you can tie easy and not have any issues with. Up next, we're going to go over some of the gear and lures I use when I'm throwing the drop shot. So to start with the hooks, I'm just using a generic drop shot hook. These are a size 1. I'll get one out real quick. There's all sorts of different hooks you can use out there. There's drop shot hooks. There's also people use some small EWGs, the Texas rig. Their baits on there. I'll show you in a little bit how I rig my bait on my hook, and that's why I choose a smaller hook. There's the hook right there. Like I said, it's a size 1 drop shot hook, and I'll show you how I rig my bait on that hook. The weights I use, 3/16 weight, cylinder weight. Get one out. These are super low profile. They come out of the cover really easily. Like I said, I'm fishing this mostly in grass on the edge of the grass lines. So this weight will come in and out of that very easily. I also occasionally will fish it in some timber. There's a lot of standing timber in the lake I fish, so that this weight comes in and out of that pretty easily. Some of the lures I throw, they range anywhere from your trick style, zoom, trick worm I should say, just a standard worm. I fish all sorts of different colors. Normally you just find whatever they're biting. Here's a black and blue I throw a lot. I also have more of a shad pattern. This is like a blue and silver. You can go more down to your smaller lures. This is more of a minnow style lure, to imitate some shad or small bait fish in the lake. And then Sometimes I'll throw something like this. This is more of a Senko style lure, but as you can see, it has a finesse tip on the end. So something that gives it more action down there. I've had some good luck on this recently. More of like a bluegill color on this one. So those are just some of the baits and tackle I use when I'm setting up my drop shot. So next I'll show you how I rig my lures when I throw the drop shot. There's all sorts of ways you can do it. You can nose hook it. Some people like to throw a Texas rig on their drop shot. Mine's pretty simple. I'm not saying it's the right way to rig it. I'm not saying it's the wrong way to rig it. It's just what I do, what I have confidence in, and what works for me. And I've had success with it. So I'll take my worm or whatever, I rig all the baits the same. So if I'm using a worm or more of a minnow style, I rig them all the same. So I'll get the bait and I'll come in through the back of the bait and just throw the hook in and work it towards the top. So it'll look something like this. All right. I do not have the hook point exposed. So the hook point is not exposed at the top. All right, that's gonna help it stay weedless. Some people, when they nose hook their baits, they'll have it come all the way down through the nose of the bait. All right, I don't do that. I leave that hook point inside the bait. So this is what it looks like. All right, that's what I have confidence in. That's the way I throw it. And you know, I haven't had any issues with hookup ratio, losing fish, and it stays pretty weedless throughout the day. You know, sometimes, you know, you catch a couple fish, you'll get a little rip in it, just bite the tip off and just keep going, and you know, until you can't fish it anymore. So that's how I rig my drop shot. You know, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I have a video coming out after this one where I was fishing the drop shot all day. I caught, you know, 5 or 6 fish on it, a couple decent ones. So make sure to stay tuned and check that video out next week. I'd appreciate it if you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments down below. See you on the next one.